Hey there, it's Dorleen, and I'm working on a one-page layout using that sketch to be my inspiration. So the pictures that I'm going to be scrapping are from April of 2021. So I have been doing these month in review sketches, and they're just like the one picture, two pictures that you take just throughout the month, not really any kind of occasion or trip or anything like that. Just photos, like a couple of these, if you look real closely, are like pictures of my husband and our granddaughter, in the backyard wearing a new hat or, that kind of stuff. We made sushi one night, so we took a picture of our, the cut up California rolls, stuff like that. I'm really not going to do an entire 12 by 12 layout over it. So I like to combine them into one layout. So all these papers that I'm using are from one paper pad by We Are Memory Makers. And I looked on the pad cover and I could not see a name of the actual paper pad. So, and it's probably really old, but I just chose it because the one thing when you're incorporating a lot of different photos from different events or different days, the colors are all just assorted, or usually they are, I should say. And I liked the color tones of this pattern paper, and you can see how colorful it is. Now, when I'm all done with this layout, I end up using 4 different pattern papers. Two of them are part of that stripe paper that's over there on the right, but still there's 2 different patterns. Now that dark blue, that base, even though it's a pattern paper, it's kind of a tone on tone, or it is a tone on tone. So it really reads as a solid, even though it's not. Now, of course, the other page or sheet that I'm using, those triangles, it's really busy, but those are also the colors that I was kind of drawing out when I picked my sticker embellishments, which you'll see me do later. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of, trimming down the photos, trimming the papers, just doing all that kind of prep work, I guess. And instead of me telling you what I'm doing, you could pretty much see it. So that April little month card was from a 12 by 12 sheet, which again, you can see over on the right side. I was determined to use it, but you'll see towards the end that I just couldn't justify using it. It just was too big of an embellishment for how I wanted the layout to look. So the paper, you always get these striped papers in your paper pads, and they're a lot of fun, and you can do so much with them. So I decided to add an extra border on that right-hand side because if you saw me fussing around with those pictures, the 2 smaller ones, which I'm going to say 3 by 4, they're actually a little smaller than that. So what I do is I just go to my local Walgreens, but I'm sure any photo processing place will do it, is you make a 4 by 6 base collage, and then depending on the number of pictures you put on that collage, they become different sizes. Now, if you add 2 pictures, of course, they're like 3 by 4-ish. And I'm saying that because they're not exactly 3 by 4, which is fine. But those little photos that you see, I probably had, I think it was 5 different photos on that 4 by 6 collage. And so they're like, an inch and a half, an inch pictures, which was perfect because again, they weren't anything so important that I needed a big picture for, but I wanted to include them in these month in review, or this month in review layout. So like I said, I just do it at my local Walgreens. They are a little bit more expensive than when you do a regular 4 by 6 print, but if you wait until they have their like 50% off all photos or something like that, it works out perfect. So a lot of times that's when I do them, when they do have those deals. But so you can see here that I have the 4 different papers. So it's the triangle paper with all of the different colors, the 2 stripes together, but it's that teal color, or I'm going to call it teal. Maybe it's more of a aqua, I don't know, colored, and also the orange, and then that navy blue, which peeks out. Now, as an afterthought, I probably could have just cut a strip of that navy blue and not wasted the entire 12 by 12, but it also became my base, and that's okay. The paper was thick, but it wasn't too thick, so I think it works out fine. So even that teal kind of color, aqua color, whatever you want to call it, it still is very tone on tonal. So even though it is a pattern paper, it still, if you look at it, kind of reads as a solid. And then that orange stripe had words going through. which again were very subtle, so that it wasn't just so much in your face, because that triangle paper is very, very busy. And you'll see in a little bit how I kind of tone that down. So the sketch, oh, here, oh, this is funny. I must have hit the, slow-mo filming when I was filming this section of me putting this together, which of course I did not realize until I started doing the editing. And at first I thought, are you kidding me? I'm just going to take this off because it's kind of annoying. But at the same time, it's kind of funny. So I just kept it in. I did cut a lot of it out because it's taken me a long time to put that one little piece of white paper on the bottom or the lower left side of this layout. But anyhow, as I was saying, so even though that paper is very, very busy, I just put that white piece of paper there because not only am I going to use that to kind of tone down the pattern papers, but it's also my spot to put my journaling. So up on the top of that section, I used my finger, and you can see that I did like a little arch because there is like a half circle there. That's part of the sketch. And it just so happened that I had a circle cut out already, a pretty large one on my desk. So I ended up just using that and then cutting it down. But this little book that I'm going through is a sticker book. And when I say sticker book, I don't mean like full sheets. Well, although there are some tucked in, but they're like, you know how you get a sticker sheet and, you use everything but maybe like 3 pieces. So that's what I do here. And I have them in there by color. So I went through and I grabbed like the blues, reds, orange, yellows, that teal color. And anything that just kind of went, whether it had words or just designs, anything that just kind of caught my eye. And I just put them on my craft sheet right there. Now, here's another thing. I just had like really bad luck filming this, but I didn't want to, what was I going to do? I couldn't just redo it. I must have moved my camera at some point because you can see that what I'm doing is over on the side, but you can kind of see how I'm just really fussing around with those stickers, trying to create clusters, trying to make them interesting but not overwhelming. So again, I'm basically just using stickers from that sticker book, which in a sense are just like leftover stickers. And then I did use some like a little white half circle over there on, well, I want to say the far right, but now if you look at it, it's actually it's at the bottom. And then here's that half circle. Well, it's a little bit less than a half circle. I think I even cut it down further than this. And then I'm just creating clusters with those random words, these labels. Labels are like my favorite thing right now, especially with clusters. But the thing that's so fun about that background paper is there's so many different colors. So normally you wouldn't think you would grab something teal and orange and blue. Everything just works out, and I just love it. So I'm just really kind of fussing around whatever looks right to me. Now, the key to making good clusters, or at least in my opinion, is you try to make things overlap or at least touching, because when things are too far apart, they don't look like they belong. They just look like they're scattered all over your page. So you see how everything's just, whether it's touching the bottom or little corners overlapping, just something minimal, but enough to make it look like a cluster. So even there on the banners over there, like that's right above my journaling box on the lower part of those 2 smaller, like I said, 3x4 photos. There are just a couple of banners, and I wasn't sure how to layer them. But again, I really just kind of have them side by side, and then I put that orange ticket shaped piece just right on the side of that. And I just love the way that looks. I didn't really do a whole lot of extra because I think that paper was just really busy, but I really feel like I toned it down by using those stickers, using the white to offset. And I think it just really turned out really cute. And I hope you agree. So if you do, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already, hit the subscribe button. Down below in the information box, I'll have a link to my blog. I do 2 videos a week, and one is always scrapbooking, and the other is whatever it is I'm creating in the command center, which is the name of my craft room and also my blog. But I do hope you enjoy this. And again, give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.